Hey people, long time no see. So I'd like to start off by saying that there's no right way to play pubs. The right way is whatever you find fulfilling. But if you're like me and you play to get better, the best you can do in a pub is just to make things challenging for yourself. If you're finding them too easy, make things harder by putting yourself in dangerous situations and really pushing the limits of what you can do. Right here is one example of that. I'm just waiting outside spawn and seeing what I can do with a little strafe and snap. Now in Highlander, in more serious situations, trick stabs aren't something to be done quite as aggressively, but you can go for rather risky ones with the dead ringer. Sometimes it works out. Now here I'm not intentionally putting myself in this situation. I did not know the engineer was there, but it's clear what I've got to do once I get in that situation. I gotta pull out that trick. Again, here I'm forced into it. I strafe into the heavy as he's rotating and get a little side stab. Now recently the dead ringer was nerfed. This wouldn't be possible these days, but the rest of the footage in this video is post-nerf. I didn't feel the nerf was entirely necessary, but I can understand why some players found it frustrating. So I'm going to be nice and aggressive here. The demo man's a huge pick at mid, and he's going to be my primary target. Since he knows I'm around, especially after this pick, I'm going to have to really concentrate on using my gun. And land one shot, but don't land the other. However, just taking a glance at him, it looks like he bought it. So I'm going to go ahead and decloak and take my time lining up a second shot. When you're lit up and you're not in danger, you can use the flames to go ahead and get a nice cloak whenever you want. There I went ahead and waited for a little bit till I was at a good point to cross the line. Now this medic has full uber charge. Since he's moving back and forth in a predictable pattern, I take my time and I put my crosshair where I think he's going to be and hold my mouse steady. You really want to be patient in those situations. You're only going to get one shot, and if you're just shooting a whole bunch, they're going to be aware of you, react to you, and probably kill you before you can get the kill yourself. Now, this is a little silly. Usually I don't use the Eternal Reward. It's sort of a useless weapon in Highlander since the comms are so good and there's not much confusion caused by the effect. And of course, you're limited to your disguise choices. But, you know, you can always use just plain old hiding to save your butt rather than disguises. Now when the pyro goes down or is otherwise engaged, that's a perfect time to go for the medic, especially if you're using this bicycle. You really want to be aware of where the enemy pyro is and what he's doing at all times. Be quite aware of the cart. Always important, it being the main objective. Now notice here, instead of just running across, I crouch jump. I didn't actually go over the scout, but crouch jumping makes you a smaller to hit target and makes your movement a little less obvious, a little harder to track. Had that Karate hit me, I might have been a little less aggressive here. But it's okay, I've got a fan and this sniper's in big trouble. Here, I'm sapping mostly just to get the medal. If it were just me alone here, I might have taken the teleporter instead. But I go ahead and thank that spy for triggering my feign before the P sniper shows up or a pyro. And I manage a little getaway. And, of course, overzealous spy pursuit gets those two killed. Now, it's really important that once you get in trouble, you keep your cool. Switch to your gun and try to do as much damage as you can if the fat stab fails. Sometimes it works out quite well. Now here's a little pub footage. I really believe in being aggressive with trick stabs and pugs if you want to learn them. Some people look down on it, but really, trick stabs are just clutch stabs, the tightest you can get. And knowing how to do them will come in handy in serious plays, if not as much in pubs as in pubs. And it also, you know, aggressive gun use is something you'll really find to be a boon when you get into serious play. Now that was an obvious feint. It didn't make the hit sound, and he went down in a single shank, so I'm looking out for him. I hear the decloak. Set up a nice little cornerless corner stab there. Or some people like to call it a matador stab. After feigning from a pyro, it's often good to run right into them. Not only is this not what they expect you to do, but it sets you up at a better angle to avoid the flames. Now, recently I've been playing on European servers, so I've been going ahead and lobbying just to get used to the higher ping. Hit registration really changes as your ping changes. Lag compensated weapons don't suffer as much, so I'm using my gun more heavily than I might otherwise. However, knife registration really does suffer because it's server side. But that's okay, you can get a lot of work done with your gun. Now this is the ETF2L Nations Cup competition. I'm representing America, and this is what I've been practicing for. This is semi-final, so these guys are pretty good. Here I go ahead and just pretend that I'm calling for spy, or calling for medic. Give them a little trick to believe in, and it seems they buy the feint, so I'm going to go ahead and cross the line. I try to get as much different distance away from those oncoming players as I can, and I decloak right outside their FOV. A narrowly successful decloak. There I was using my ears. I heard the soldier coming, so I held off for a second until he crossed. And, well, desperation move, but it works out. And remember, be really proactive with your gun. Every little bit of damage counts. And even if you just end up, you know, sort of poking an opponent, you can always call out his low health to your teammates. Now, of course, here I'm focusing on the medic. He's low health, so dealing those 36 damage is actually going to matter. Little headshot on the heavy, but I really want to focus on getting this medic, and I get a little overzealous. I get corner stabbed, so he's not the only class that can do it. But I'm not going to let him get away. It looked like he bought that feint. He doesn't have his needle gun out, so, well, sorry, buddy. Better luck next time. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon. Or soonish.